in my view, imperative that as this draft law moves forward, victims of both state and non-state actors continue to be treated equally. Finally, in my full report, I will be addressing other issues. They will include, but not be limited to, presidential directives to the military justice system to comply with the letter and the spirit of the jurisdictional competency law, the undertaking of an independent investigation of the procedures and outcomes of the military justice system in human rights cases, all forms of incentives to members of the military for killing must be removed, increased coordination, especially with respect to the tracking of cases of alleged extrajudicial executions between those institutions responsible for investigating such allegations should be promoted. There should be no statute of limitations in civil suits against officials in cases of extrajudicial executions, and the Office of the Public Prosecutor should continue to be strongly supported and be provided additional staff, funding, and training.
Preguntas, les voy a pedir identificarse con el nombre y el medio al que representan y levantar la mano para hacer la pregunta. Comienzo entonces con Reuters.
¿Puedo preguntar en inglés o español? Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. You're very clear about the fact that this was never a state policy. But how would you address the possibility that the negligence involved and the breakdown in command in the military and these serious consequences could amount to criminal negligence?
I have made very clear that I believe that the problem of falsos positivos resulted from a systematic practice within the military. The challenge then is for the military to acknowledge the extent of the problem and to take all the necessary steps once they have discovered the extent of it to punish those responsible and to put in place measures which will prevent a recurrence. I have to say that I am very encouraged by the measures that have so far been taken by the government. What remains to be done is the effective prosecution of those who were responsible. Action has started down that road, but the results so far are clearly not satisfactory. Let me make one other point. It is quite probable that those who have a problem with the present government of Colombia will take my conclusions in relation to the systematic nature of these killings and draw the conclusion that the Colombian military is rotten. That would be completely erroneous. I believe that the Colombian military is a well-disciplined, effective fighting force. I do not think that the recognition by the military, which I hope will come more clearly and more definitively in the weeks and months ahead, of the fact that these killings have taken place on the scale that they have, means that the military itself is dishonored, that its general standing is undermined, and so on. It is, in fact, the opposite. The military will be much stronger if it can come out and say, okay, we did it. It's there. The figures are there. We're no longer contesting them. We're really going to push ahead with all of the cases, not just the Swatcher cases, in the ordinary courts, and we're going to move on. And you can see the results. We've stopped killing. That's what I want to see, and I believe that is what will strengthen the Colombian Army in the future.
¿Otras preguntas?
Any other questions?
Gary Odolinchik from the Irish Catholic. I was wondering if you could, amongst the recommendations, will there be any recommendations in relation to financing of the military brigades that are involved in the falsos positivos, given that they receive funds from abroad?
You're referring to foreign financial assistance. I would certainly be recommending that all governments and others who are providing military assistance to the government of Colombia should take full account of human rights issues in relation to that funding. I think it is extremely important that these governments make known the importance they attach to effective action by the military to eliminate the practices that we're talking about, and most importantly, to punish those responsible.
Bueno, soy Gonzalo Guillén del Nuevo Herald de Miami. Yo sé que a usted le entregaron la copia completa de la directiva secreta de 2005, de noviembre de 2005, en donde se establecen los pagos de recompensas y pagos incluso por operaciones por gente que se dé baja en el extranjero. ¿Usted considera que esa directiva es una política de Estado o considera que no es una política de Estado? Bueno, le decía que yo sé que usted recibió la directiva secreta de 2005 que establece las recompensas, que hay incluso una tabla de tarifas que ofrece recompensas por dada gente que se dé baja en el extranjero. Inclusive hay una parte donde se dice que se puede dar de baja a una persona sobre la base simplemente de una hipótesis. En fin, ¿usted considera que esa directiva es una política de Estado o considera que no es una política de Estado?
I think it clearly was
a mí me parece claramente que se trataba de una política del Estado, porque si no, no hubiera estado plasmada en la Directiva 29. Me ha asegurado el gobierno que, desde luego, ya no es una política del Estado. Yo me quedaría más tranquilo si cuando me den las directrices, estas me lo aclaren oficialmente.
I am Wies Ubachs, the Dutch press agency
Soy
ANP.
Wies Ubach de la agencia de prensa holandesa. ¿Acaso averiguó algo sobre los reclutadores de esos jóvenes que llevan a los jóvenes a las regiones en donde los matan? ¿Son civiles, son gente del ejército, estos reclutadores? El relator, he escuchado mucho testimonio. El equipo y quienes habla, llevamos a cabo más de 100 entrevistas, muchas de ellas muy minuciosas. Escuchamos largas y detalladas explicaciones del papel que desempeñan los reclutadores. No hay una respuesta sencilla a su pregunta. Si puedo usar una palabra desafortunada, se trata de empresarios o personas que harían cualquier cosa por lucrarse. Otros eran militares, funcionarios, otros era gente que estaba muy de cerca al ejército, y había otros que eran simplemente mercenarios que están dispuestos a rebajarse, a cometer lo más bajo con tal de ganar dinero. No hay un solo modelo en cuanto al reclutador.